Once, bread was everyone's best friend. Until between 2005 and 2015, it suddenly became public enemy number one. People started looking at baguettes like they were biological weapons. Supermarkets built gluten-free aisles, restaurants added disclaimers, and suddenly gluten, once obscure, became the wellness world's new villain. So what the heck happened? How did a protein found in wheat become scarier than sugar, fat, or even carbs themselves? Let's find out right here on History of Food. Once upon a time, gluten was just gluten. A humble protein quietly doing its job, making bread chewy, pizza stretchy, and pasta delightfully bouncy. But somewhere between the rise of wellness blogs and celebrity diets, it got a full-blown PR crisis. Gluten-free became a badge of health, and bread, humanity's oldest comfort food, was cast as the villain of modern nutrition. Gluten isn't some Frankenstein ingredient cooked up in a lab. It's a natural protein found in wheat, barley, and rye that gives bread its chewy texture. Without it, pizza dough would be a sad, crumbly mess. Humans have eaten it for thousands of years. The Egyptians baked with it, the Italians built culture around it, yet somehow, in the last couple of decades, it got rebranded as poison. It all started with a real medical condition: celiac disease. For the roughly 1% of the population who has it, gluten truly is dangerous. It triggers an immune reaction that damages the small intestine, making it hard to absorb nutrients. No joke, that's serious stuff. But then, something strange happened. A few doctors started saying, hey, maybe gluten could also cause other issues: bloating, fatigue, brain fog, mood swings. Suddenly, gluten was being blamed for everything short of bad Wi-Fi. Celebrities joined in, diet books exploded, and gluten-free became the new fat-free. By the early 2010s, gluten wasn't just a food concern. It was a lifestyle. People were purging their kitchens, baking with almond flour, and bragging about being GF like it was a personality trait. You'd show up at brunch and hear, "Oh, I don't eat gluten anymore, it makes me puffy. Yeah, I went gluten-free last week. I feel so clean." Bread lovers were shamed like they'd committed a crime against wellness. Most people who cut gluten didn't need to. Studies show only a small fraction actually have celiac disease or true sensitivity. But nuance doesn't sell books, so instead of "gluten might not suit a few people," we got dramatic claims like "gluten causes inflammation" and "gluten makes you fat." A perfect storm of half-truths, pseudoscience, and celebrity hype. And then came the gluten-free heroes. Books like Wheat Belly and Grain Brain claimed gluten was behind everything from obesity to Alzheimer's. The logic was simple. Too simple, actually. They said humans weren't meant to eat grains, which sounds dramatic until you realize humans have literally eaten grains since the dawn of agriculture. You know, that little invention that gave us civilization. But people were desperate for answers, and these books gave them a villain. Gluten became the scapegoat for everything modern life made us feel: tired, bloated, sluggish, stressed. Let's be real. We've all had that phase. You feel off, you Google your symptoms, and suddenly you're convinced bread is slowly killing you. So you go gluten-free. And for a while, you do feel better. But was it because you stopped eating gluten? Or because you stopped eating junk like processed white bread, cookies, and cereal bars disguised as healthy? For most people, it's the latter. Cutting gluten often means eating more whole foods, cooking more, and being mindful. That alone can make anyone feel better. But instead of saying, "I feel better because I'm eating cleaner," people said, gluten was the devil. The food industry saw the panic, and they cashed in. They turned gluten-free into gold. Many gluten-free replacements were actually less healthy, packed with sugar, starch, and weird additives to make up for the texture gluten provides naturally. So while people thought they were making a healthy swap, they were often just trading one processed food for another. Now, to be fair, there is a gray area. There's something called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. People who don't have celiac disease but still feel symptoms after eating gluten. But here's the kicker. Some studies found the real culprit wasn't gluten at all. It was something else in wheat called FODMAPs, a group of carbs that can cause bloating for some people. So if gluten isn't the villain, why did we all fall for it? Simple, it gave us control. Health trends are often less about science and more about psychology. When life feels chaotic, giving up a specific food feels like taking control again. It's the same reason detoxes, juice cleanses, and no-sugar challenges go viral. They promise simplicity, a single fix for a complex world. And gluten? It was the perfect symbol of everything wrong with modern food. Processed, industrialized, mass-produced. So ditching it felt virtuous. But here's the truth. For most of us, bread isn't the problem. It's how much and what kind we eat. Gluten itself is just a protein. It's not sneaking into your system, plotting your downfall. If you genuinely feel better without gluten, great. Do what works for you. But don't treat it like a toxin. Because unless you have celiac disease or a confirmed sensitivity, bread isn't the villain. It's just the scapegoat of a confused health culture. And honestly, it's kind of funny. For a decade, we were terrified of gluten. And then lockdown hit, and everyone became a home baker. Suddenly, sourdough was cool again. People were nurturing starters like houseplants. The same crowd that once said, "I don't eat bread," was now posting photos of their loaves like proud parents. Flour shortages became a badge of honor, proof that you were part of the movement. Even failed bakes were shared with affection, their lopsided shapes celebrated as part of the learning curve. So maybe the lesson here is this. Food trends come and go, but moderation never goes out of style. Gluten isn't the villain, it's just a misunderstood protein caught in the crossfire of diet wars and clickbait headlines. So go ahead, eat the bread, savor it, because life's too short to be afraid of a sandwich. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.